right, welcome to KUTV Kenya. Good morning to you wherever you're watching this show from. Welcome to KUTV Kenya's live stream, and we're doing this from the outskirts and the nearest location to the capital city of Kenya, Nairobi. We're here to bring you the best of art and culture. This is Art and Culture Monday, and for those who are wondering, where is Ojwang Mariam? But I'm here as a representative of a man who has been missing for just 2 weeks now after being involved in a road accident. We're hoping he will be recuperating as soon as possible, wishing him a quick recovery. But in the meantime, I'll do my best to stand in his shoes and bring to you this show that you get to enjoy every single Monday from 7 to 10 a.m. Art and Culture Monday. We get to look at what is happening in the art scene. What are the creatives doing? In what spaces are they doing this art? How can we support them? How can we ensure they're making money and progressing and telling our stories in the best ways possible? It's about culture, our culture as Africans. In what ways are we getting pride in the culture that we have? How are we showcasing this in the art forms that we have in society? And then this show ensures those who can't get that information, those who can't visit those places, those who can't get to attend some of these art shows and see what the creatives are up to in Kenya, we bring that to you. We try and break it down, get a discussion, get your feedback. So ensure you're interacting with us on all social platforms at KUTV Kenya. Because I'm standing in for Ojwang Mariam, you can also tag him as well, Ojwang Mariam, but myself on social platforms at Richard_OKENYE. So this day on the fateful 24th June 2024. I begin this show, of course, not oblivious of what has been happening in the country for the past few weeks. Young people have rallied behind the hashtag Reject Finance Bill 2024. For those who are not aware, if you've been living under a rock or have been in a coma for the past 2 months, let me just bring you up to speed on what is happening. The government of Kenya is trying to raise taxes through a new financial bill. This happens every single year, by the way. Only that this time, Kenyans are not rolling with it. The clauses within this finance bill of 2024 have brought a lot of heat and debate across the republic and globally. We are now on the spotlight after young people, of course, took to the streets to protest the finance bill of 2024. Members of parliament already put it to vote last week, and it sailed through the second reading, and 105 members of parliament are the only ones who voted no. 200 and more voted yes, and some in absentia as well. This has not sat well with the young people who, again, on Thursday were out there in the streets fighting the police force, trying to occupy parliament. This week, we are in the midst of 7 days of rage and courage. That's how it's being termed as, according to the statements which I have seen online. The procession towards parliament and towards State House continues. Tomorrow, there are going to be a host of demonstrations and protests across the country, which have been organized independently by young people. So let me start by saying that as this is happening, positivity around, of course, young people coming together, there's also something else happening in the shadows. Last week, arrests were conducted to those who were suspected to have organized the young people to rally against the finance bill of 2024. Some of those are friends of mine. Some of them have people I've gone to school with, including one, Dr. Austin Omondi, who we have hosted on this show, Rise Today, on Biashara Tuesday, to discuss the issues that are, of course, facing medical interns and medical doctors all across the country. I want to say that, of course, we do condemn some of this or all of these arbitrary arrests, which can't be termed as arrests since no arrest warrants have been issued. Some of them are being grabbed straight up from the streets. From video footages we are seeing from yesterday, of course, some of those involved last week, whether online or even on ground, to rally against the finance bill of 2024 are being arrested without a word to their relatives, to their friends, or any information whereabout on where we can find them. So I would like to condemn those kidnappings and arrest as well. Let's ensure that there is sobriety even as the government is trying to handle what the young people are hoping will be addressed in a sober manner and in a way that pushes this country forward. So hoping that the president, wherever he is, has been seen, of course, over the weekend and quoted to say that he's ready to have a conversation with young people. but he needs to be reminded that the young people are not here for a conversation, but results. We've been having conversations for a long time now, and this is the reason that we're seeing this kind of aggression, this kind of pain, frustration that the young people have now resulted to take to the streets. So we're hoping that indeed the government is, as it rallies the young people to be involved in matters of governance and leadership, it sees that this is one of those ways in which we are having our voices heard. We condemn this in the strongest terms possible, and we, of course, reject the finance bill of 2024. Times are tough, the cost of living is going up, and we are hoping that the pain that the Mwananchi is feeling, the government as well can see it. Not to be taken away by that, and of course sentiments and emotions are all around the Republic. We are still getting back to matters of what we handle here on Rise Today. This morning, I'm having a conversation with the young people again. We see what they are up to. Are they lazy as they're being termed by politicians, or are they actually working hard at their crafts and whatever it is they're involved in within the Republic? I am having a look at a couple of conversations. Let me begin by inviting you. If you're a Wafula and Afula, if your name has Fula in there, I have a show for you to attend, which is actually from your name itself. So Fula is something that you need to be excited about. It's a play that is in collaboration between Eugenia Park and Art Flame Theatre Network. They're presenting this to you on the, let me get you the exact dates here. This will be happening this coming July. 6th July. This is when the first show will be staged at Eugenia Park, and it's Fula. That's the name of it. The discussion already happened here when Karen Blessing was hosting Art and Culture Monday. We're continuing with that. Of course, they went in depth into the process of writing, scripting, editing, and of course what you will be able to see on stage when Fula is finally presented. When Home is Calling, that's the tag that is going with the title of this production. We are speaking here this morning, not just with the creatives. Of course, we already started that discussion. We're continuing it. We are continuing it with Faith Moko. Faith Moko is the general manager of Eugenia Park, which is where this show will be presented, where you can get to enjoy it. The conversation we're having is around, of course, the state of the art amphitheater that they have over there. This art center, I've seen here, combines traditional African and Greek architectural designs to offer you something that you can get to enjoy when you're watching art shows, talk shows, conferences, and movie screenings. So if you're an artist or someone who takes care of artists, this is a space that you want to go through that facilitates all of this, from music to performances to dance to theater. So you want to see what kind of events happen here, how you can get to participate, what kind of communities they've been able to build around it, including book clubs and some spaces that they've partnered with trainers to offer lessons that I see here, which involved vocals, instruments, performances, and music as well. So you want to know how you can plug into some of these spaces. What will it cost you in terms of energy, in terms of finances, in terms of bringing together people in a community, so that you have somewhere where you can continue to progress, of course, what you're doing within your capacity in the world of art or creativity. So creatives, this conversation, to our stakeholders of the industry, the questions that you have: how hard is it to put up a show? How easy it is to put up a show? What kind of processes are involved? What kind of facilitation do you need? How prepared should you be? That's the questions. Those are the kind of questions I have, but you can also add on top of that. We'll be asking Faith Moko in just a short while when she will be joining me here on the show. Speaking of artists and art, this morning we're also having a conversation on filmmaking. There's also something else that you need to be prepared for, to watch out. By Prevail Presents, and it's coming through in August. This is a show prepared by one Martin Kigondu and Santa Mukabana. Martin Kigondu and the team have been here on Art and Culture Monday. They've been on KUTV Rise Today a couple of times before. We've had a look at, of course, the works that they've done. And this production, this theater production, will be staged very soon. It's called Sanctuary. The play is called Sanctuary. So it follows a very interesting story which is close to my heart of technology. The themes that are exploring in this play include technophobia. Maybe just to give you a little teaser, it's set in the 2050 in Kenya. So it's a story of Kenya in 2050, a time when technology will have advanced immensely. The question they're asking there is, people are finding themselves in a dilemma whether to take up government services, which are rumored to have a chip to track all you do, or to forgo that and live your life offline. So technophobia, some of those themes which are being addressed here, interpersonal relationships and how those have affected us to lead us to search for solace and relationships within the world of technology. I'm sure that's something that you can relate with. How many times have you planned something, met up with people, and still all of you sank into your phones? So these are the kind of conversations we are hoping that will be brought out by this play, which will be staged by Prevail Presents. But I'm not the one to let you in on all the details. I'll be speaking with one of the or two of the people involved within this play. The director of Sanctuary herself will be here, Santa, and accompanying her will be Joyce Musoke, a screen, stage, and voice actor. You might have noticed her from some of the works in Showmax, in Netflix, from Pakani to the new animation series by Showmax, and including a host of others, which she will let us know when she joins us here on set. So if you have questions, creatives, this is the time. Filmmakers, this is the time to tune into the show. Prepare everything that you have. We'll be speaking to the people who are actively involved in this industry. This is Art and Culture Monday. Don't forget to tweet us out at Richard_Kenya. Use the hashtag #RiceToday, hashtag Art and Culture Monday. Welcome to the show. Grab yourself favorite warm, hot cup of beverage, and then let's enjoy all the way to the end. Before we continue, we'll be having a look at what is happening out there, the roads, updates, and then, of course, caution that you can take as you go out with your day. And we continue with matters of art and culture. Welcome to the show. I hope you enjoy. Right, so just to let you in on what is happening in terms of the young people who are preparing themselves to go out in the streets to protest the finance bill of 2024, because this is also affecting your traffic. It's important that you know how the movements are looking like. In this 7 days of rage for We Have Courage, it's a timetable, a schedule from the 21st of June to the 27th of June, which will be towards the end of this week. So from Friday last week all the way to Thursday, this schedule has been going on. So today, which means we are on day 4, and they are making a courtesy call on members of parliament who voted yes at the constituencies' offices to tell them endelea hivyo hivyo, and then they will boycott the businesses of these members of parliament and ostracize them for betraying the 54 million Kenyans. So if you live around where members of parliament offices are, their constituency offices, just know that's the kind of activity that will be happening there. As you go out, prepare yourself for that. And then tomorrow is when we will have that Occupy Parliament again from last week. This time the hashtag is Total Shutdown Kenya, a national strike. Be aware as you're planning your movements for the day or for the week, for those who are traveling overnight in case they're coming from other regions. Let's have a look at the roads now. The updates, as according to Ma3 route, according to Outer Ring Road accidents alert, according to motorists KE. I'm getting this across the interwebs, and of course from what you might be having out there, do tag us. Let's know what the transport and current traffic conditions are looking like in the places where you're at. From the vantage point of someone who is at White House Bridge at Outer Ring Road, anasema it's moving smoothly on both sides. Pesa ni kama imeisha. Hii ni siku gani? This is the end of the month. Pesa imeisha, hakuna gari kwa barabara, watu wa fuel, ama watu wameficha magari because of the total shutdown, but beat inconvenience by using Outer Ring Road. Kama we ni watu wa Kangundo Road, you're trying to get to Thika Road, ushajua kuko sawa sana. If you want to experience the Kenyan airport security that is friendly and efficient, go to Doha Airport in Qatar. Literally the whole team at the flight transfer bag scene was talking Swahili. Speedy bag scanning with a smile. JKIA can do better. So, who are the Kenyans we have at Doha, and who are the Kenyans we have at JKIA who can't handle this the same way? If you've been to JKIA, you know the nightmare of the security search there. The situation that we've been crying every single time on Twitter. Repair JKIA and let's treat our travel as well. But that's a commendation from Ben Roberts, who's the group CTO for Liquid Intelligent Technologies out there in Doha, giving a shout out to Kenyans who are putting in the work. Munaeka kazi uko nje. That's why the government thinks we should all be looking for jobs abroad. You're doing a great work. Let's also do the same at home and ensure we want to stay around. Sakwa Bondo asema now the fuel price has gone down. We hope Mathri Route will advise all motorists to lower bus fares for their customers. Haha, jokes on you. If you think that will happen, let me know which will be the first sacco to do it. Lakini mafuta ikipanda next week, 1st July 2024, when some of those taxes hit the streets, I'm sure pesa itapanda immediately. But I mean, if you think this can happen, let us know. The fuel prices are down, but I have not seen any of the prices of fares being lowered. But let us know where you're at kama imefanyika. Caution drivers about that. Again, Moyale Road, kama unapitia your route, be careful. It's still not been repaired. It's they're calling it a death trap. A death trap. Outer Ring Road here also giving us information from the Donholm interchange. It's moving smoothly. Mombasa Road kunakaa kuko sawa. Kiambu Road, there's no update. So it means everyone is busy getting to town. Hakuna traffic. Thika Road though, I'm told that from Utali, there's a build up on the service lane. So avoid it and use the highway. If you're on Thika Road, Mombasa Road, kuko sawa. Everything is all right there. And what else? What else do we have? Nothing much. If you have updates, Kiambu Road, kwingine, tuambie watu wa Lang'ata. Are you able to access KNH? Are you able to access T-Mall through the Raila Odinga way? Tuambie what those updates are looking like. But then we are continuing with conversations on art and culture even as we do that. All the way to 10 a.m. Let me take a short break, grab a cup of water, and then I'll be back. The conversation that we are beginning with, I had already informed you of earlier, is with Eugenia Park. I'm really hoping that this is how it's pronounced, but you can check out the website EUGENIA, eugenia.co.ke. You can have a look at some of the photos they have on the website there, how the state of the art theater looks like and what they have, of course, facilitating for different creatives. So we are speaking with the general manager, who's Faith Moko. She'll be joining me on set, already in studio, excited for that conversations. Creatives, give me your questions. I'll be right back.
Fashionistas, get ready to level up your style game. Tune in to Fashion Diaries every Monday at 8 p.m. with me, Ashley Asachi. From Kia Hills to slit suits, we've got the trends that will make you shine. Don't be left out. Join us for a fashion-filled adventure.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more, only on Law Matters.
Are you healthy, or rather, do you maintain a healthy lifestyle? According to WHO, health is regarded as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease. Welcome to Focus on Health, a show on all matters health, wellness, and lifestyle. On this show, we cover a wide variety of topics, inclusive of but not limited to dental, optical, mental, reproductive health, and so much more. Join me, Joy Bofenda, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on KUTV for compelling insights and discussions on all matters health. See you then.
Focus on Health, your weekly dose of health and wealth information on KUTV.
Where we ask the coolest questions in science. Let's go! Is yogurt really just rotten milk? Why do humans need sharks to survive? How did a 12-year-old boy from Africa invent modern vanilla farming? How do you deliver medicine to a chimpanzee? Can poop be useful? How can you save the planet by reducing air pollution? To help us answer these questions, we are inviting some wonderful guests from the world of science. They will enlighten you, make you hungry for knowledge, oxygenate your brain, and make your ideas flow. This is Engine Season 3. Let's go!
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pepo pasi vuguvugu. Pepo pa ni idea.
Tazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili.
So maybe you've had excuses ati mali wasanii wako kuna miadarati sana. Siwezi kaa huko mimi. I can't even bring my kid to enjoy the show. Can't even just come with my family. Can't come with my mom and relax because they might misbehave. They might start doing I don't know what, things that are not family friendly. Sawa, let me allay your fears because I have somewhere that you need to check out very soon. It's Eugenia, a green space that is providing a platform for creativity, recreation, and networking. They are saying here on the site, which we are also showing you on the screen, that they're designed for a family-friendly and non-smoking, alcohol-free destination for creative minds and lovers of recreation. Ukisikia tu hivyo, unasikia ni kama taxes zishashuka because it's a green space that is inviting you in all the best ways possible. I'm allowing the general manager of this location to let us in on how exactly they have carved this space for creativity, recreation, and also for lovers of art to go and enjoy, and much more, which they have within that space. The one that I also inform you of as we go on with that discussion is a play that will be staged there on the 6th of July, and they are doing this in collaboration with Art Flame Theatre Network, who of course have been here on the show before to let us in on the details of what this show is. But I want you to know what the tickets are going to look like, how you can get them as well, and I'll let you in on who has been involved and when the shows are at, so that you have them on your calendar. But kwanza, kabla tufike kwa hiyo play, which is very, very important, we want to speak about Eugenia Park and what it has for you. If you have a community of creatives, how can you plug in there and what kind of benefits you're going to get from it. Right, let's welcome the General Manager, Faith Moko, to the show. Karibu sana.
Asante sana. Thank you.
We're glad to have you here.
Glad to be here as well.
Yes. Please introduce Eugenia Park to us for the guys who are watching the show, and then can get to a few questions on what they are expecting within the space.
All right. So ideally, Eugenia. So we are Eugenia Park Arts and Recreation Center. So other than the arts bit, maybe I can just give a small overview of who we are. So basically, we are a space, an outdoor space. So basically, where you can host your events, any kind, from weddings to kids activities, and then also we have a restaurant that serves really good food. So it's a nice place to be.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a green space.
Yes, it is. It's a green space.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which means there's a garden, as you said there, a place that I can breathe. There's a good breeze.
Yes.
And all of that.
Definitely. Most people that come there say it's more like a healing garden. Once you get inside, it's so calming.
Okay.
It is. You should experience it.
While out of meditations, you know where to go and relax and get to the center of your being.
Yes.
Where is it at? Where is the location?
Okay, so we are located on Kenyatta Road. That's on exit 14 of Thika Road. And then from the Kenyatta Road junction, we are 5 kilometers in.
Okay.
Yes.
5 kilometers in from Kenyatta Road junction.
Yes.
This is along Thika Road.
Yes.
For wale watu ambao hawajaifika Thika Road, tusifike Kenyatta Avenue town. Tushangae where is Eugenia.
Yes.
Reimagining our future. I see that's the tag right beneath the name.
Yes.
You told me earlier, and I'm among the people maybe who didn't know, that Eugenia is this tree here.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes.
Reimagining our future. What does that mean for you?
So ideally, reimagining our future, basically, it's as it is. So meaning, we are trying to imagine our creative side, more like, you see, you're trying to imagine a space, or more like creativity beyond limits. So it's whereby we are trying to think what we can't even think about, you see.
Nice.
So it's all about what we are right now. So we are trying to reimagine futures, things that actually don't make sense. You're trying to make sense of them. So it's all about creativity, things that you think that you would want to have in the future in arts, things that have not yet been done. So basically that's what you want to bring out. So it's all about creativity, like how big and how crazy can creativity go to.
Right, thinking of what we have now and then reimagining it for the future. Yes. It's interesting because later in this show I'm having a conversation with guys who are staging a play that is thinking about 2050 in Kenya. Technology, how that's going to look like. The government has these chips that people need to put into their bodies for government services. Yeah. So I like that, they can also come into this kind of space.
Definitely.
And reimagine that story there.
Yes.
It combines, I was having a look here on the side, website. I still am, and I'm hoping people at home can check it out. eugenia.co.ke. Combines traditional African and Greek architectural design. So even the construction of the art center itself.
It is actually now the amphitheater, and like many theaters, it's circular. So the inspiration is from the Greek architecture combining with the African hat. So like for the people who know Adingira, how the traditional the hat used to look like, that's the design that we have.
That's the Thingira.
Okay, it's a modernized one, but that's the design. That's where we got the inspiration from.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
So the African design there and inspiration from Greek architectural design. And this is where even in Greek mythology and actually Greek history, we used to have those amphitheaters where colosseums being informed.
Yes.
So this is that kind of setting.
It is.
All right. We are imagining the future in that way. Let us in on the maybe events that have happened so far before we get to look at what is coming up.
All right. So ideally for us, we the theater, we recently launched it. It was in this year February. So we have launched a classical concert.
Okay.
So that was a branch concerto. So that one had international artists from US and from the University of Georgia, and then also we've had a play, The Island, by Alacock. Also we've had a kids show by Zamaleo. It was by the fireside. Also, we've had another classical music concert that happened last Saturday. This was the KICF ensemble.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Classicals is all I've had. Is that something that you're very keen on, or is that your theme as well?
No, ideally, it's what comes, and then also it's more like depending on what the crowd wants. So you actually notice that people have a liking to classical music, and it's being embraced actually. I've never been to a classical concert, but once I attended, wow, it's something that you would like to experience.
Okay.
The orchestra coming in, the musicians, and all that.
The design, I'm sure, plays a part in the acoustics.
Yes, it does. It does. Yes.
Probably why the classical music presentations are a hit for your space.
Yes.
Okay. So for those shows that you've mentioned that have happened there, are these collaborations that you seek out yourselves? So for the creatives who are watching the show are wondering, how do I also put up? I have a community and I want to also put up a show. How does that look like? Are you open for that, and what's the process like?
Yes, we are open. So ideally what we do, like most of them are collaborations, whereby you have a project, you're a producer, you want to bring a show, you probably don't have space. So we do joint ventures at times.
Okay.
Yeah, so you come to us and then we see what the show is about, and then
limit packs if I have like 300 people.
Yes. Yeah, so ideally our amphitheater has a capacity of 300 people.
Oh,
yes.
I hit the right number.
You did.
Okay.
Yes.
So 300 people.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's still that's a lot. Yeah.
It is.
It could hold the people, a whole play, and whoever else wants to be there.
Yes.
All right. Events, music concerts, movie screenings, stand-up comedy, talk shows, musical plays. This is a variety of art shows I see that can be presented, of course, within this theater.
Correct.
There are other activities, and some of them you told me which are coming soon.
Yes.
Please do let in on the secrets of what people can expect.
All right, so we're having an upcoming book club both for adults and children. We've noticed that also the art beat is diverse. So also reading books is a culture that we would like people to emulate. So we are planning on having book clubs coming soon. We'll actually have it on our website, and then it will tell us. It will let you know when we'll commence.
Okay.
Also music classes. So we have kids who want to more like do instruments and also vocal training. It is also upcoming.
All right.
Yes.
If you check out the website actually and scroll, you can keep tabs on when that is going to be ready. The book club for adults and children as well, and then the classes for training in music and the other forms of art like drama, painting, and foreign language. This is a lot of support for the creative space.
It is.
How do you feel this impact is going to look like, or it's looking like so far for that space?
So what I'd say is with how the trend is, or rather with how everything is right now, I believe that the creative side is the way to go.
Okay.
So in that everybody's an artist, it's just about how you bring it out. And so for us, basically, we are that space that wants to give you the opportunity to actually venture and see basically what you can bring.
What you can do.
What you can do.
That's the reimagining future part as well. Yeah.
Yes.
You're giving that space for them to come and reimagine their future.
Yeah.
All right. So if you're an artist, creative, you have a community, please do reach out to them and stage whatever it is that you have planned. And we're going to let you in on the one that you can go and check out the space with. Yani uko na excuse ya kushow up to sema nimekuja kuona hii, lakini pia una scout location for free, instead of struggling to find places and scouting. And let's talk about the recreation even just a bit before tuambie watu what Fula is. Nilikuwa napitia hapa, very colorful. What are the kind of recreational activities I can do within there?
All right, so basically for adults, you can do archery, you can do painting, and also when it comes to games, we have football, and then also there is badminton. For the kids, there's skating. They get to have the two cars, the kids ride the electric cars and all. Yeah, so it's a space where you just come and then you'll be entertained all through from activities. You see, the fact that we are family friendly, and it's a space, basically we say it's a sober space. More like you just come, enjoy your time and in recreation activities. Yeah.
We have a continued discussion across the country in trying to see, rather than having malls and skyscrapers and all of these things in the city, we need to have more spaces for creatives to come and enjoy, to come and relax, to have, I see bird watching is happening here. You can just come, have fitness, do treasure hunts, painting. I'm sure, what are they called these days? Sip and paint and sip. Yes. I'm sure a lot of sip and paint or paint and sip, uji and paint, these are the locations that people can get to. And but for a while, as you've also rightfully mentioned there, the trend is, or even with the current times, it's time that now we invest in our creativity.
True.
Why would you, maybe just away from you being GM and being active in the space, why would you think maybe is the case as to why so far we've not had many of this? We've not had people coming out. Do we lack the will to support artists? Is there the space? The spaces are not enough? Is it not lucrative? Is it not lucrative? Why is it that we can't all invest in this kind of space?
So in my thoughts, I'd say art is a niche of its own. So basically, many people really don't understand. People think they understand art, but they really don't. But once you get to understand that art is diverse, I believe it's a space whereby it can actually grow into something really huge. So I think it's a call for investors to actually now go into the arts bit, other than thinking of other things. Art iko sawa. Yes.
Create the spaces. I've seen somewhere in China where there's a content farm. Basically, they have a whole building where if you are someone who goes live on TikTok or does something online, you just come get a space and do your thing. And they've already reimagined the future because they see that's the trend where we're going to. So invest and think about how you can join in here and support the creative scene as it's being done here by Eugenia Park. But more of other activities, recreation, bird watching. I like it. Someone who's active into the art of meditation, it will be good to go there and chill with some birds. Right, so art center, recreation, and also food as well, and spaces for hire if you want to put up events. We have this play coming up, and it's being staged at your location.
Yes.
Let us in on what that looks like.
All right, so the play is Fula meaning rain. So it's a collaboration between Art Flame and Moran Publishers. So more like you see how CBC nowadays art is part of the curriculum. So it's a nice opportunity for also the kids to come and attend, because it's more like an art workshop. So we have 2 slots. So basically there's a show for the children and also for the parents. So for the kids, the students, their rates are 500, and then for the adults, there is the advance tickets are going for 1,200 shillings, and at the gate it's 1,500 shillings. And the play is all about what do we say? It's all about culture and modernity. Whereby how both of them can actually blend into the modern society.
All right. Still reimagining the future.
Yes, it is.
Our culture, and then thinking about where this is leading us. Let me give a synopsis of that play that is being displayed on the screen there. This is Fula, which is a story centered around a spiritually gifted young beautiful woman, Fula, which means rain. So kama unaitwa na Fula wa Fula na uko unajua inatoka wapi, Ndio hiyo. She's stuck between two worlds, two cultures, two lifestyles, and countless options and opinions from the society. So go check it out and see how the unexpected turns of her life when she discovers what her ancestral calling is, caught in between the city life and also what her ancestral calling looks like. What is it? What is the ancestral calling? Is it rainmaking? You need to find out. Check out what will be happening at Eugenia Amphitheater on the 6th of July. As you've heard there, the advance tickets are going for 1,200 shillings. And at the gate is 1,500. This is for adults, yes, right? And then for the students,
that's 500.
That's 500.
Yes.
And it will be happening in 2 shows. First show and second show, they are starting at 2 p.m. all the way to 5. And then 5 for the second one. So ensure you're putting it in your calendars with the correct date and timing. Those are the venue locations. Just to remind them of where Eugenia Park is, so that wasipote, as they put it in their calendars, pia weke location na weke pin.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so Eugenia Park, we are on exit 14 of Thika Road, Kenyatta Road on your way to Gatondo. We are 5 kilometers from the highway.
All right.
Yes.
Come one, come all, and enjoy the space. More than what you will be seeing being displayed there at the art center, there are other things which I've spoken about that you can get to do activities. So ukibeba pesa, beba utakuwa tempted. So beba pesa ya maana, alafu you'll get to enjoy all the other activities they have within the space. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
For creating time for us here, letting us in to your space virtually, and we're hoping that now physically, when the show is happening, tutatokea tuangalie.
Yes.
It is just right here, next to, very close to our station.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Something I forgot?
Oh yeah, so one fun fact about the theater, it's actually it's one of a kind theater that you can actually perform in water. So we have a stage that can be filled with water.
Okay.
Yeah, so artists who are really creative alafu wanataka kushtua watu.
Ooh.
Yeah, we have water in the stage as well.
Nice. Baptism?
No.
Okay, unless it's in a play or in a movie scene that you're acting, you have that space.
Yeah.
You nisha kupatia ideas za creativity already. Who came up with this design? Looks very well thought out and futuristic at the same time. You have a dedicated designer for the space?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes, we
do. A shout out to him or her. I'm not aware who it is. But this is great work, and I'm hoping we can see more of these kind of spaces.
Definitely,
yeah?
Yes.
Sometimes, I'm not saying that you will get any of this at the space, but sometimes when the show is not that good, you get to enjoy the space at least. Yani, well, at least I'm enjoying the ambience, yeah, and what the acoustics are looking like. Yeah, sure. Looking forward to the 6th of July, and ensure you're attending that play. Fula is going to be very, very good. Yeah. If you missed out on the discussion about what Fula is about and how it's been prepared, please make sure you check out our YouTube, KUTV Kenya. Type out there, Art and Culture Monday, Fula, and then you'll see the interview that happened here with some of the creatives involved in bringing this show to life. Right. Asante sana. We are going to take a short break here. After that heated, it wasn't heated, but a warm discussion, to get you excited for what the show is going to look like on July. But I'm coming back with more of what is happening within the creative scene. We're having a look at a futuristic play. I know you've seen futuristic movies, sci-fis. Can you imagine how that will look like on stage? 2050. How does 2050 look like on a stage, on a play? Tune in for that. Don't go too far. Art and Culture Monday is still on air.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pepo pasi vuguvugu, pepo pani idea.
Sazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, ndio inaweza kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni Duniani Leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Baada ya kutafuta kazi, tunaweza kuanzisha miradi yetu ambayo ingetusaidia kubadilisha maisha ya wazazi wetu.
Kwa vijana wenzangu, wengi hawana kazi, lakini ikiwa sisi wenyewe tutajiamini, tunaweza kujiajiri wenyewe.
Afrika kwa kweli tuna mahitaji ambayo ukiyasuluhisha unaweza kuathiri watu kwenye bara hili.
Bila woga, watu huwa na uzalishaji zaidi, wanajawa na ujasiri, wanakuwa wabunifu na wanakuwa wenye maarifa.
Niliamua kuacha kazi, hata kama sitafanikiwa, nitakuwa nimejaribu, nitakuwa najua haiwezekani.
Hakuna kitu cha ajabu hapa. Kila anayepata ufanisi hufanya kazi usiku na mchana.
Kitu kitakusukuma na kuwezesha kupata maarifa ambayo hukuwa nayo.
Tunajaribu kutengeneza kitu kitakachopita mipaka ya nchi hii.
Ikiwa unataka kubadilisha ulimwengu, anza na nyumbani.
Ni nguzo na uso wa jamii. Kupanda shuka, akawa tuzo. Ukakamavu wake, ukatii na kumfanya mwenye bidii. Kwa machozi na makeke, akabaini jinsi ya kuweni. Huyu ni mwanamke ngangari, kwa jinsi alivyo ng'ari. Mimi ni mwanamke mwake. Usikose kutazama kipindi cha mwanamke mwake, nami Caroline Kimwele. Where we ask the coolest questions in science. Let's go! Is yogurt really just rotten milk? Why do humans need sharks to survive? How did a 12-year-old boy from Africa invent modern vanilla farming? How do you deliver medicine to a chimpanzee? Can poop be useful? How can you save the planet by reducing air pollution? To help us answer these questions, we are inviting some wonderful guests from the world of science. They will enlighten you, make you hungry for knowledge, oxygenate your brain, and make your ideas flow. This is Engine Season 3. Let's go!
Hi, my name is Stella Tioi.
Jina langu naitwa OKENYE James.
This is Mandela Gaya.
Ugonjwa ulipokuja ulichukua siku 3 ukaniweka in coma. 20 wamezikwa, 2 ndio wako hai.
I don't even know how it feels to see.
I feel like I cannot express myself well the way somebody who can walk can actually express themselves.
Ilichukua muda mwingi mrefu tena mpana ili kuikubali kwamba mimi siwezi tembea tena.
I've come to actually accept myself.
Ukijaribu kumsimamisha mtu umwambie tafadhali nionyeshe njia,
they find it quite strange talking to you.
You should just make schools integrated,
inclusive setups
by providing the right facilities.
Lola ni programu inayokupa fursa ya kutizama video zozote pindi tu unapokuwa na nafasi. Hadithi za kukupa motisha, drama, maisha ya vyuo vikuu, teknolojia masuala ya jamii, kuzuru maeneo tofauti, spoti, burudani na zaidi. Pata programu ya Lola sasa kwenye rununu yako kwa yote unayohitaji.
You need to look for high quality friends.
I'm from Kingston, Jamaica, you know Portmore. That's my village.
Kanga tu chini hapo ukinyethia ukikatia mademo akipita. Sinaweza saa hii nimekuja kukopesa choo.
So I don't know where you will be in 2050. I don't know either. If I can only guess. I don't even know if I will be. That's another question. Even actually, given the times that let me not get into that. Welcome to Art and Culture Monday. If you've been tuning in, please do let us know where you are tuning in from. Kama uko areas of the outside of Nairobi, outside of Kenya, diaspora, kuna live stream on YouTube. So if you go there, KUTV Kenya live, unaangalia live stream na tuambia pale mahali ulipo, pale nje ya nchi, kunakaa aje, una feel aje morning kama hii. It's high temperatures in Kenya. Hata kama ni baridi, the temperatures inside of us, ziko heated up. It's going to be a crazy week ahead. But before we get into that, I asked, what do you think we'll be doing in 2050? How do you think life will be like in 2050? Do you think ChatGPT will actually be real life? Yani, anatembea hivi unampatia instructions asubuhi. Those are the kinds of things we see in sci-fi. And here, Prevail Presents is trying to bring to you a sci-fi dystopian movie, but in a play that you can get to see on stage. It's called Sanctuary, and we're going to get into the details of what that is going to be. Maybe not the details, just a synopsis of what you can expect, so that you're excited and you have some bit of suspense. I have the cast, one of the cast members here as well, and the director of that same play that will be staged in August. Yeah, so calendar yako inafaa kuwa fully booked from July all the way to August. I already told you what you can check out on 6th of July, but here we are bringing you another one for August. It's called Sanctuary, and I have with me one of the cast members, Joyce Musoke, an award-winning actress. Speak about Kenya Theatre Award, speak about Women in Film Awards as a director as well. If you have been on Netflix, if you've been on Showmax, I mean, you should have already seen her, or at least heard her voice in some of the works that she has been able to voice at. I'll let her give you all those details in a short while. She's accompanied by Santa Mukabana, who's also a director, award-winning as well, and she's done quite some work that we'll get to in detail in just a short while. We are trying to promote Kenyan film. This is Art and Culture Monday, and we are progressing in terms of bringing these conversations of art and where you can get to check it out and support. We're trying to make it a business at the same time, right? So in that Women in Film Awards, which we also had the privilege of attending where Joyce got her award. We have something to show you. I believe my director has it ready. So let's have it out, and then we'll be back with the people on the set with me to prepare for Sanctuary. Let's enjoy.
Under the Best Director Film category, WIFA 2024, Carol Koch Odongo, Jacqueline Mungai, Jennifer Gatero, Joyce Musoke, Zipi Kimundu. And the Best Director Film, WIFA 2024, goes to... I was hoping to. Ladies and gentlemen, are we ready for this? Let's have drum rolls, drum rolls, drum rolls. The Best Director Film 2024 WIFA is...
Hey, do many men get to do this on International Women's Day? The winner is Joyce Musoke. Give it up for Joyce. Come on. Give it up for Joyce Musoke. Best Director, Film category, WIFA 2024. Looking elegant in that green, making sure that we're doing it the best way we can. Once again, Joyce Musoke.
That would have been a very awkward moment if he had given the award to somebody else. Angela Lainjeleo for sure. So, this is quite a moment for me. Oh my goodness. About 20 years ago, don't you worry, I'll be done in a minute. About 20 years ago, I was on a set for my first, as an actor, on my first drama series. And I was directed by a young lady, not that much older than me. And at that time, there were not many female directors, leave alone young ones. The directing space was dominated by old white men. And that young lady was Wangeshi Murage, and she had such an impact on me. She managed the set with such a grace and confidence, and she showed me that it was possible. And so I hope that even by me directing, sometimes I have to just be courageous and do this very scary thing called directing, and hopefully I'll pass that on to other young women. I would like to thank my Mono team. I have some of the nominees, Daisy, my producer, Zainabu, who's also been nominated for Best Actress. I had such a supportive cast. I had such a supportive crew. My producers, Daisy and JJ. My sweetheart, okay, he's a sweetheart after 5 o'clock. 9 to 5 is my business partner, Yafesi Musoke. My family and friends, Safe House, thank you so much. And bye, I'm done.
Right, that's award-winning actor, Joyce, giving her a vote of thanks there at the Women in Film Awards 2024. She also did, of course, win, as I said, a supporting role winner at the Kenya Theatre Awards of 2024. Let her, of course, tell us more of her life as an actress, an award-winning actor as well, and then some of the works that she's also been in. Naambiwa kuhusu Better Days, naulizwa kama nilikuwa nimezaliwa ama welcome to the show. Yeah. See, hata na try, I don't think I saw the show.
2004, 2005.
Mimi ni millennial by the way. I identify as Gen Z.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I'm millennial who identifies as Gen Z. Niko last line ya millennial huko chini kabisa. But yeah, 2004 I was around. I probably wasn't cognitive enough to watch the show. So you've been in the space since then?
I've been around for a while, yes. Yeah.
Okay, please introduce yourselves to the Gen Zs in the house and those who are out there, the people who might not be aware of your works before we get into it.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Joyce Musoke. I am an actress. I've been at it for more than 2 decades. I'm born into a family of artists. My dad is an actor. Many people know him. Most people know him from as Mzekobe from Machachari. Gen Zers understand that.
Mzekobe tushamjua.
Mzekobe, that's my dad.
Oh.
So I'm born into a family of people very strongly in the arts. Yeah, and I've been at it for more than 2 decades.
Mzekobe is still active as well.
He is.
Hadi saizi.
He's busier than me.
Yeah, I think I saw him on was it Country Queen?
Country Queen,
No.
yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I think that's a lot of dedication into the world of art. 2 decades, but it doesn't look like you've done it for more than 5. You look excited to do the next project. What has kept you going throughout those years?
It's a good question. I have no idea. I think there's some insanity that checks into creatives and and in my case for acting, I don't know, it's like some drug, because there are very many points through the journey where you're just thinking it's not making sense. Joyce Musoke, why are you still doing this? But I guess it's just the love of it, and I don't know what else I'd be doing.
That's
Apart
actually
from
enough.
acting,
The love of acting, that's everything. If you have the love for it, they say if you love what you do, you will never get to work a day in your life.
Well, there are times it feels like work.
Sometimes it does feel like work, but we're pushing through it, and we see what you've done so far. Congratulations on the awards like that, and the Kenya Theatre Awards in 2024, on screen and on the stage as well. We get to see how you do balance that, being on the camera and also staging plays such as this one. I know sometimes actors tend to stick to one side. Kuna yule wa theater. I have a friend of mine, Emperor Sheka. Napenda theater sana. He loves to be on stage more than in front of the camera, unless it's for TV purposes. And then there are those who just love to, of course, appear in films. We get to see how that change looks like. But congratulations on the journey so far.
Thank you.
You're a director as well. So wacha tuanze na director mkuu, alafu tukuje kwa director mwingine tujue about directing. Welcome to the show, Santa.
Thank you for having me.
Right. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Okay, I'm Santa Mkabana. I am an entrepreneur, stroke a visual storyteller. I've worked on different projects for almost, I'd say, 2 decades now as well. So I'd call myself a multi-hyphenate. So I'm a writer, director. I do different projects along different lines. So stories, short films, documentaries, theater. So I'm all over the place. So
You're always directing something somewhere.
Yes.
Okay. You said hyper?
It's a multi-hyphenate.
Multi-hyphenate.
Yeah, we're moving into a world where we're embracing all our creative sides.
They have a poly something name for that.
Oh, yeah, they do. I can't remember what the name is.
Yeah, I'm also trying to. Please get me the name. Poly something. Yeah. Polymath. Yes, a polymath. Someone who's, good at a bunch of activities.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You have been in the space as well for, as you said, close to 20 decades or around 20 decades. I just posed the same question that I asked Joyce, which is, what has kept you going for that long?
Like she said, I think it's a type of craziness, to tell you the truth. You wake up, you try one project, the project bombs. You're like, I'm never going to go back to this. And then you sit down, someone comes and tells you, oh, this a great idea, maybe we could work on it. And then you're like, I don't know. Then you do it again. But I think also what helps is, for me, because I do different projects, so I'll do a documentary, I'll do a short film. Right now I'm working on theater. So that helps me not burn out. So just trying your hand at different things and also not sticking too much to one side.
Okay.
If you direct, think about writing. So make it exciting for yourself. So, yeah.
Do people pitch their stories to you, or do you have like a certain set of principles that guide you. Hizi ndo mimi napenda kama haifiki standard.
People do pitch their stories to me. And depending on how much energy is required, then I'll decide how much I want to put in. Like Mukami is an award-winning film that came out, I think it was last year. So they wanted me to come in terms of production, but I told them it might be a bit hard. So I helped in terms of helping write the script, helping form the characters. So it depends on your project and if I have time. If I have time, then we're going to do it.
Okay.
So yeah.
Do you have a favorite child of these projects, whether it's theater, documentaries, films? Which one do you enjoy and go all out for?
I'd say for me, theater is like my first love. I say for me, I get excited about theater. Like the people get excited about meeting a new boyfriend or something like that. That's how I feel about theater.
That's how
I feel.
It gives you those butterflies.
Yeah, all the time. Every time I'm on stage, directing something, or I'm just seeing, or like I'm listening to the audience, reacting to the things the beats that I've put in. Excitement, total excitement.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll get to some of the exciting things that are coming up. If Sanctuary is giving you butterflies as we wait on it. Joyce, what was the first place that you showcased your acting? Was it on the screen or was it on stage?
It was on stage.
Okay.
And it went really badly. It turned out really badly.
It did.
Yeah, I froze. So yeah, my words got stuck in my throat. I was like maybe 8 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually just froze on stage. So
during rehearsals or during the actual thing?
No, the thing. The thing.
Did you run off? Or how did you save yourself from that?
I didn't. You know what happened? Because this was, I don't know whether it was drama or music festivals. It was one of those. And because I just froze, the audience just clapped politely and...
Toto akambiwa toke stage.
I was gently ushered out.
Wow, I will never go back on stage after that. How did you still come back to this field?
So when I went home, I had a moment. I remember going to the top of the stairs. I went upstairs and I stood at the top of the stairs, and that became my stage. And I replayed everything, and I did it to an imaginary audience as I should have done. And it was beautiful. That audience, that imaginary audience, I had a standing ovation.
You could imagine them.
Oh yeah.
Was there anyone at home to see this?
No.
Just you?
No. It's an audience. It was the physical audience that made me freeze. So, yeah.
And you eventually worked on it?
I eventually worked on it.
Do you happen to remember your first time on the screen as well?
I do. It was a film in 2004. Gen Z's just bear with me. In 2004, I did a feature film, and then shortly after that, I did that show, Better Days.
That was the first time.
That was the first time, and it was big then. Yeah, it wasn't the time of social media, but that was big then. Yeah.
You were a hit. I'm being informed.
I was a hit, let me tell you. Moms used to stop me on the road in town. Give me their son's number. I call my son. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. Lovely to see you that you're still on that journey to this day. It's not an easy journey because even myself on this screen, there are people who, watu wanakaa 5 years, 6 years, mtu ashawacha. But still sticking through to it in major roles until now. What are some of the notable projects of this day, so that wale wanashangaa Better Days ni lini? Their best days size.
Okay.
Notable projects.
So Gen X na earlier millennials, Better Days. Now to more recent projects. Yeah. I don't know if you've watched Twende, the animation on Showmax. Yes. So I play a mad scientist. That's one of my most fun roles. I play Lizzie on Second Family. That's on Showmax as well. Something else is coming up. We're working on something also on Showmax. What else? Yeah, and Mpakani, yes.
Right.
Yeah, and
A border
Crime and
story.
Justice and a couple of others.
Okay. You can check out those ones. In the meantime, ingia Netflix hapo, Q in Mpakani. She is crying throughout the whole show. I watched the whole season, and your role was very emotional. You're telling me that you happen to be in those roles. Is that something that is with your temperament, personality?
I have been given so many crying roles. In fact, there's a time I did so many crying roles in a row, mpaka nilikuwa naumwa kichwa. Like I had a headache throughout for like 2-3 months. Yes.
How do you channel the crying? Do you remember like bad stuff in your life?
Wait, Richard, let me tell you. First of all, it's so hard because I don't actually cry in real life. It's very rare for me to actually shed tears. I work very, 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 very hard
to cry.
And then sometimes machozi zinamwagika, and that's the take that we have to do another take, and I have to. Yeah, I have some tricks up the sleeve, breathing. When all else fails, I put glycerin in my eyes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. I have one more to you.
Yeah?
Cost of living. Think about cost of living. Tears zitakuja. Tears, natural. Bill, finance bill. But yeah, all right. Santa, some of your notable projects as well. Let's get to hear them.
Wow. I mostly done a lot of work. Okay. When I started out as a video editor. Then I moved into being a director slowly. Okay, I was pushed into being a director by my mentor at the time.
What did they see?
So I think he focused on just throwing people into the pool. Just get in there, see what you can do, and figure it out. So in 2009, I did a documentary for Miss World Kenya, which one had the Beauty with a Purpose category, which was so cool because it was watched globally. Even got a few words from Trump, which is very odd to say right now. And then I've worked on a few documentaries for a couple of companies. Think Oracle, think I'm trying to remember. Then someone asks you what work have you done, and then you forget all of your clients.
And then remember after.
Yeah, Agra. I've done something for the Nile Basin, government guys.
Okay.
So that's what I used to do mostly, a lot of documentaries and stuff. And then in 2014, I just changed my mind. I was like, I think I want to get into some short films. So I did some short films for myself. I've worked with Gregory Kiwo from Kiwo Films. He helped me along with some of my projects. And then I decided to get back into theatre in 2018. I had been doing theatre since high school. My first play, I wrote a French play.
In high school?
In high school.
Okay, you were a French student.
Yes, I was a French student. So, and then I had some shows that we had done as guys from school at Daystar. So in 2018, I did a play with Nick Ndada and Maria Nungo called All About the Marriage Hearse. So that went really, really well. People were excited. They really liked it. And then after that, I did a few gigs with the Kenya Film Commission, just teaching guys film, how to create a story, how to write it, how to edit. And then COVID came. So those have been like the big major things which have happened.
Okay.
And then I'm also a DocuBox guarantee.
Oh, right.
Yeah, working on a documentary, which has taken a while to finish just because of, documentaries take time. But yeah.
Okay.
And it's a documentary on the rock scene in Kenya.
The rock scene.
Yes.
It died with XFM, but I'm hoping it still exists somewhere.
Yesterday, it was on Saturday. There was a rock show on Saturday, a live rock show on Saturday. So you should follow and see what's happening.
I will. Once you bring that documentary to life, I will know where the spots are at. Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. Those are some of those notables, just some of that portfolio. And we are going to show something as well from DocuBox. There are people we also do show up to some of these events by DocuBox and also interviews here on what kind of support they're giving to the industry. So we have something to play at the very end later. You mentioned Mukami.
Yes.
Award-winning.
Yes, yes.
Let us in on how that process was like.
Oh wow! I feel like I'm invading someone else's project. But Eastmond, the director of the play, is actually a very visionary sort of person, and he's someone who's your age, but he's very bold and very out there. He doesn't take no for an answer. And that's one thing that I love about him. So when he brought the project to me, I was like, I don't know, it's sort of like a feminist theme. I don't know if people are really going to like it, but I want to see how you do it. So he gave me the script and asked me to help him flesh out the characters. And of course, I think Joyce will attest, sometimes when you're being, I wouldn't call it disciplined, but being told how to flesh out your characters, it can be a bit... it's your baby. So sometimes you feel a certain pinch inside your chest.
It's not good enough.
Yeah. But he took it really well. And I'm proud to say that's one of my favorite co-productions that I've been able to be in. I think, not even just in terms of creating the story and being able to deliver it till the end, but being able to have social impact. And it's one of those projects that I look at and I say, I'm really proud that I can look at it and say, at least I helped to develop that character. So that makes me happy.
Okay, nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
So sometimes no is not really no, it's just amend, adjust. All right. Let's talk about Sanctuary.
Yes.
You working with Martin Kigondu in production, whose works we marvel at here on this show. That's a power team right there. What are you guys cooking? What are you cooking with Sanctuary?
Okay. Sanctuary is an adaptation of a play that I read in 2018 called Girl in the Machine. And the play revolves around a woman who discovers a machine that's able to, should I say, transport her into AI, into an AI sort of world. And the play at the time when it was being written, that's the time when Black Mirror was really, hitting. And so the first time when I read it, I was like, I don't know if I can be able to do this in 2018. So I took it, then I shelved it. And then when I was having a discussion with Martin on what we could do, I showed it to him and I was like, I don't know, this seems kind of, like a big leap. And I was like, nah, let's do it. So Sanctuary focuses on themes of technophobia, human connection. And it also talks about our need for, to escape from government control. Because when you talk about things in the conspiracy theory world, everything revolves around, the robots are coming and it's the government that are sending them. So that's where that angle came from. And I thought it would be a good idea for us to try it now, simply because a lot of things have developed in that world. And now we sort of have a new definition of what the future could look like. Because for a very long time, the 80s is what was defining what the future would look like. Star Wars, Star Trek, and Dune. But now it's sort of like those stories are coming to an end. So we're developing a new idea of what sci-fi could look like.
Yeah. Probably I'm just going to put a guess there. We have reached that future that they thought we'll get to and didn't happen. So we need to reimagine the future once more. I like it. 2050, that's when this is set, futuristic. Joyce, is this going to be your first sci-fi role? Sci-fi film or play, that is?
My mind is...
You're trying to shift through the library of projects.
For now, let me say yes.
Probably of this level.
I hope I
haven't forgotten any.
Right, but top of mind, no. This would definitely be the first sci-fi.
Okay. Sci-fi on stage. How do you think that's going to look like for you?
I'm really looking forward to it. I don't know what it's going to look like. I have an idea. But my mind is just open and I'm just waiting for this adventure.
Any hints into your role? Without giving away too much. Hopefully.
Okay. She's a girl.
Oh wow, she is.
Yes.
It's the main character.
Yes, it's a two-hander. So there's only the two of us,
just the
just Martin and I, and
Okay.
we are a couple. And the again, without giving too much away, it's just how our relationship with tech versus our relationship with each other. I think that's the easiest way I can put it.
Without giving it away.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about the themes then.
Yeah.
There's that technophobia. There's also those interpersonal relationships. And I'm curious about how this looks like for you when you act it out and when you meet it in real life.
Yeah.
These themes, for example, interpersonal relationships and how that affects our tech. Do you sometimes take those lessons and you're at home and you're like, this is exactly what my script is talking about?
It's true. It's true. I catch myself. You go home and you want to open your laptop or your mind is on your phone, and there are all these people around you, and they're like, Mom, I'm a mother, Mom, you can see them trying to even meet your eye, and your whole world is so, your whole concentration, your whole mind is in this virtual world, is on social media. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these are lessons that you can as well apply in real life, and I'm guessing that
for sure I catch myself.
Part of what we will get to at the end of Sanctuary is people to get lessons on how they're interacting with each other in real life. Government control, as of course, as part of what is being here displayed in the play. Now, what will we see? Because that's the question then I think I will ask you rather than Joyce. What will we see on stage in terms of sci-fi? Is it the costumes? Is this the language? Is there some tech?
Yeah. I think we already live in a world whereby sci-fi has already been determined for us, you know? Like when you watch, there are those markers of what a genre looks like. So horrors, you expect to scream. A love story, we expect someone to either fall in love or get their heart broken. So definitely, think a lot of lights in around there. We're gonna try to automate some of the things that you see. I'm trying not to give away too much.
Maybe I'm curious. Nguo za 2050s inakaje?
I think for preparation, people should just go watch a lot of the old sci-fi. I feel like the new sci-fis don't really have the sort
source.
of the source. A lot of the 80s sci-fi is like not even 80s, and some of the 90s like Gattaca, etc. have this sort of Back to the Future. I think Matrix, the first one, has this sort of old school kind of sci-fi feel to it. So that's what we're trying to bring back. If you are a fan of Star Trek or Star Wars, think that the early ones. So that's what we're going to try and bring back.
Old school sci-fi.
Yes.
Okay, nice. Be excited for that. And it's by Prevail Presents, which is a theatre and film company that has been doing a lot of this work since 2015, award-winning as well. So today the conversation is around award-winning directors, actors, and production companies. Let's talk about Prevail. Just a bit of the work that they're doing in supporting creatives, impact-wise. How is this looking like for this space in theatre?
There's a speech this year that Martin gave about people continuing to be motivated to create art, and people doing it because that's that community around the artist, them being their own community, is what's pushing things forward. I think Martin is a very visionary person. I use visionary a lot. I think I do so many amazing human beings who are doing a lot of things, a lot of good work. Number one, he's not scared to try new ideas. Number two, he loves to collaborate. And I know especially for Gen Z, it seems like these people seem so far away. But I'm a firm believer in throw in your shot. Present your idea to someone, and it might look like this person is so far away, but it might be something that maybe we might not do it now, but we can think about doing it later. Not only is the production for Prevail on another level, I think it would also be the layers of the complexity, because when you look at all the shows that they've done so far, when you compare Matchstick Men and I've forgotten one for Max, I've forgotten the name, all those with missing marks shall not graduate.
Retakes. Yes, I remember that one.
So very different themes, very different ideas, expressed differently, but everyone taking up the challenge and doing what they can. So I think that's the best part about Prevail. They're doing a great job.
You're working with some of Kenya's best brains, whether it's acting, producing, directing as well. This makes works enjoyable, doesn't it?
It does. I think the thing that helps is there's no ego. And that's how the projects have been able to move on so well. Because all of us, we have our own, great ways that we have influenced the world. But when you step on the set, you realize that this person also has their own greatness that they're bringing to the table. So just removing that ego and also realizing that you're doing it for the greater good of the project. So I think that's what has made the work very enjoyable. Yeah.
Okay. Joyce, being someone who's on screen in this world of, now that this play is going to be about technology as well, sci-fi dystopia. In this world of technology that we've gotten into, the digital world, streaming is such a big thing, given you're on streaming platforms at the moment. And if I took a guess, niulize hata watu wako hapa ndani, there are like 10 people, I ask half of them, probably wataniambia the last time they went and watched a play, right? Where is that? But plays are still going on. It's people would assume that we're no longer doing theater. We don't go to see that, but the space is very active. If you are there at the Kenya Theatre Awards, you will see the players, the stakeholders, the industry is still growing rich. How do we still encourage us to experience art like that? Ndio pia tutoke. Si kwa hii play tunaongelea about watu wasikuwe involved sana, wapotee kwa virtual world. Encourage them to watch such.
I'll say this. Theatre is such an experience. And there's just something that theatre gives, because I do both. I'm both on the stage and on the screen. But there's just some magic that theatre gives that you can't get on the screen. It's a shared experience. It's a world you're creating in that space. And if you're not inclined to go watch stage plays, I just feel really sorry for you, because you're really missing out. Yeah. And I mean, the production quality, it's really, really improved. What we have now is quite amazing. I know a lot of people are stuck in high school music festival when you had to open your eyes really wide, and the drums and
yeah.
That's great too. That's okay, but there's so much more, especially now. The theater space is growing so I don't know, the growth is beautiful. Let me just say that. Okay. It's vibrant, it's amazing. I am excited about what's happening.
It's not all about what was in music festival, set books.
In fact, the people who say I'm not a stage, but I don't like plays, those ones are usually stuck in high school style of doing things. And by the way, I enjoy that. I also enjoy that style, but
there's much more to it.
There's a lot more.
Yeah.
And give it a chance.
Give it a chance. I went to watch this play, and it was being presented by a friend of mine called Mbarasheka, who's very active in the theater scene. And I knew this is my friend. I'm seeing the story come to life. The other thing I like about theater is that we're all tapping into our own creativity. So a world is being created on stage. How someone else is envisioning that storyline. Akirudi kitchen venye huyu anafikiria kitchen looks like back there isn't the same thing that I'm thinking about. So it's like we're watching the same movie but in different scenes, sort of. I like that. So seeing this guy on stage is a friend of mine, and they're doing a very emotional piece, or like part of the play. And I'm crying. And I know this guy is not dying. I'm going to see him just a few minutes after he's out here. But the way it's presented, it's so real, and I got to enjoy it. So I agree. If you have not been in that space, what is being done is amazing. And you have a chance now. Let's get to talk about the chance you have on August. Santa, if you can let us in on the details of what is happening in August. When is the first show, and how much this is going to be at?
Okay. So we're doing this on the weekend of August 16th, 17th, and 18th. So August 16th is a Friday. So that first show is at 6 p.m. on August 16th. August 17th is 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. And on 17th, which is Sunday, is going to be at 3 p.m. And all of this is happening at Allianz.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, and the ticket is 1,100, the early bird tickets.
Okay.
So the early bird should end on the 27th. So you have about 3 days to get your tickets. Yeah.
On 27th of June.
On 27th of June.
Ooh,
Yeah.
high demand. Early bird tickets, get them. It will be opening, again, just to emphasize what she said, 16th of August on a Friday. You can form your weekend yapo. If you can't make it on Friday, Saturday 17th, you can also check it out. And then it will close on Sunday 18th August at 3 p.m. Get your tickets, 1,100. Early bird closes on 27th. Where do they get them at?
The website is called www.madfun.com. So just because Madfun does a lot of other shows as well, shows and movies. So just scroll all the way down and you'll see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Check out madfun.com. That is what will be happening. The play is called Sanctuary. Those who are joining in the show right now, Sanctuary, a dystopian sci-fi, which is starring Joyce, who is on set with us here, and as well as Martin Kigondu, who also did produce the show. It's directed by Santa, who's on set here with us on the show. So Sanctuary, be at the Alliance Française. Alliance Française. Sindio, Alliance Française. Alliance Française Auditorium. Pia hiyo ni Sanctuary. So unaona Sanctuary ndani ya Sanctuary. Bro, I'm plugging you in. Make sure you're checking out madfun.com. Get your tickets. We will be there no matter what, so that we enjoy the future. This is so, especially for young people ambao wako so into technology. If you want to have a glimpse of how that will look like for you and your, because it's a two-hander, so it's Joyce and a husband for that play. So it's a couple that is exploring life in a world where the government is trying to get all citizens to have a citizenship. Do I speak about a government trying to get people to get a chip? We'll speak about it later. But that is what you can enjoy in August. Joyce, just maybe your expectations of what you will experience with the show. Sisi tumeongelea what the audience will be experiencing. Kuona. You on a personal level, I'm pretty sure after every project, new transformation, a PTA experience, what are you looking forward to for this time round?
After what Santa has been putting us through.
Rehearsals after rehearsals.
Oh, mega personal growth for me. One thing stage does for me, and one reason I do stage also is it makes me a stronger actor because stage gives you instant feedback. It gives you have to get it right the first time. Hakuna take 2, take 3. So it makes me a sharper actor. It helps me meet my beats better, even for screen. Yeah, so I definitely
looking forward for personal growth
for me.
Yeah. All right, invite people to the show.
Kujeni. Come. It's really a beautiful piece. I'm doing this because it's a beautiful piece.
Okay.
Yeah.
Enjoy, and please do get your early bird tickets, madfun.com. Acha tuambie director pia our invite mwenyewe.
What I'll say is all the things that you want to see and have a conversation about in terms of brain organoids, AI robots that look sentient, discussions about other worlds. That's what we're going to be discussing. So come and watch Sanctuary at Allianz.
Right. Naju mimi ni one of those people who've been enjoying Black Mirror and dystopian sci-fi. I am definitely going to be there to see how our African Black Mirror is going to be. shout outs to people who have been involved in the project, if that's something that you'd like to do.
I want to send a shout out to Martin, who's not here. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to work on this. The two of you, Joyce and Martin, are really, really good people to work with. Thank you to the Prevail guys who, as we are creating the world of Sanctuary, you guys are doing a great job. I really love it. And I guess thank you to MadFan guys who are supporting and all the other guys who are helping us market. And thank you, KUTV, for giving us an opportunity to be here. This helps push things along.
Right.
Yeah.
Asante sana pia. We are enjoying having you here on the set as we are trying to promote the art scene in the country and reach in our culture. These are some of the ways in which we can plug ourselves in and plug you in. So how this is an opportunity for you to enjoy what creatives are doing right within Kenya and do your part. Something I always say is across the art scene, from music to film to theater, is badala nishinde nikisema hakuna kitu mzuri tunafanya, wacha mimi nione I've done my part, yeah? And then ona kwanza, usicomplain na ujaona kwanza, wewe ona, and then when you get to the actor, when you get the director, mwambie amfanyi kazi mzuri, akwambia aje uko na backup, useme hakuna kazi inafanyika na ujaona. Just do your part and then we'll grow the industry together. I'm hoping my panelists are agreeing. All right, thank you guys for creating time this morning. It's been enjoyable. I'm going to take a short break here, but at this point we'll play you something from DocuBox, about DocuBox if we have it, and then I'll be right back with more on Art and Culture Monday. I'll read your feedback on social platforms as well, tagging me at KUTV Kenya, at Richard_Okenye. I'll be right back.
For the Solution Film Festival, because in the world of storytelling, there's a lot that happens. The creative minds that we have in here are there to give solutions to different problems on a daily basis. But as we talk about it, as we continue to look for funds, just where exactly are we? Do we have the solutions? Have we cracked that node to be able to get that fund, to talk to the funders, to go deeper into their pockets, for them to be able to just listen to what the storytellers have to say, the filmmakers, how they have to shoot, and everybody involved in this space to be able to just keep on churning all these beautiful stories that we have across board. And to be able to have these conversations with us today, we have Tony Kamau. And just who is Tony Kamau? Now, Tony Kamau is a notable figure in the film industry, particularly known for her work in documentary filmmaking. She is a News, Emmy, PGA, and Peabody nominated producer. Hand of applause for Tony Kamau as she makes her way here. Pretty much in the world that you guys do exist in, she is a maestro. Karibuni sana. Yeah? Yeah. So before we actually start, I just want each and every person to introduce themselves and just talk about some of the stories that each of you has and some of the problems that you continue to face in this industry. So I'll just start with you, Tony. Tony, what is this one story that you have brought to the fore, you have produced, that has brought about that change in society that you think these guys need to know about?
Wow, this is the one time I wish it wasn't ladies first. Yeah, but thank you so much for being here. And thank you for inviting me to be part of this panel. Very excited to talk about documentary, something I'm really passionate about. Yeah, so my name is Tony Kamau. I'm a creative producer and filmmaker and writer. And I'm the founder of a production company called We Are Not the Machine, that's based in Kenya. And and we like to tell stories of outsiders, rebels, and change makers. And some of the projects, so we produce commissioned work for non-profits, for broadcasters, but we also produce independent documentary content. Some of the projects that I can just briefly talk about highlights. So some recent projects is Softy, which was directed and produced by Sam Soko. It was a production of LBX Africa in co-production We Are Not the Machine, and I was the producer on that. And Softy was the story of Boniface Mwangi, you know, an intimate look at his life and his marriage, you know, and his family and his relationship with Kenya. And it was a story about, you know, just these things that we grapple with, priorities. What comes first, family? Is it your wife? Is it your 3 kids? Is it the shamba you want to get in shags? Or is it your country? Is it contributing towards, you know, having a more inclusive and democratic society? And that is the issue that they were grappling with.
My father who worked in heaven, or my dad got hurt by that police. Please tell him to get a better job. In Jesus' name we say amen. Amen.
Kenya has been ranked dismally as one of the most corrupt countries in the world.
Boniface Mwangi, folks, this young man is, one word, fearless.
I can only imagine how scared I'd be. See my husband taken to the streets. Now he wants to try his hand at politics. What?
My heart is made up that I'm going to fight.
This is how you're telling it.
Ako tu sawa, ni bora tu apewe.
Asante. Hebu nipigie kura.
Does Boniface Mwangi have deep pockets? No, he doesn't. Is he on the right side of the tribal kingpin? No, he's not.
He is going to be a casualty of other forces beyond him.
Do not come home. They will kill you. Activist Boniface Mwangi receiving death threats that for the first time target his wife and children as well.
It feels like just jumping into a river of crocodiles.
And I'll come to you, Eric, now. Eric, as we continue to have the discussion, British Council has come forth as one of the institutions that sees what storytellers have to say, and you've jumped on that and given them the push to continue doing whatever it is they do. So why is it that as Ignite you see the power that does exist in storytelling and filmmaking, and how is that important to you?
Thank you. First of all, I'm really happy to be here. How did I end up here? First of all, is because of this is my 14th year of working. But the work I've done, before I get to the question, is I've really worked extensively across Africa. I've done projects in Senegal, so happy to have someone from Senegal here. Worked extensively in Burkina Faso. Found myself in Congo, found myself in Madagascar, doing one or two things. But we can delve into that later, but some of the issues that we see are, of course, being highlighted negatively. But at British Council, of course, having presence in some of the 7 countries in Africa, with Ignite Culture is what we're trying to do, really, post the pandemic, to support creatives, including filmmakers. We recently supported Zanzibar International Film Festival. We've partnered with DocuBox for a number of years, and the idea really is to build a peaceful and prosperous world through supporting arts and culture. And of course, storytelling is key, not only from where I've worked before, things are changing. Donors and funders want to hear about the story behind the numbers. Ignite, we have 36 grantees across 10 countries, and this particular point, we're supporting them to tell stories, right? What has the fund done for you? You know, what has the euro done for you? Who's the beneficiary? You know, so the beneficiary, the person who benefits from that funding, that's the beautiful story we are supporting creatives to tell. We're supporting filmmakers to tell. We're supporting different value chains. My mic is louder. I love it. Yeah. So we are behind the scenes. I call it. We manage the projects, we oversee, and we work with local organizations, local businesses, and creatives who are in themselves the authentic, bona fide person who will tell their stories. Yeah.
This is Ignite Culture, part of the global ACP EU Culture Program. Launched in 2021, this innovative grant financing facility of between 30,000 and 180,000 euros was designed for the support of creative and cultural industries in 14 countries in Eastern Africa. Prospective applicants must demonstrate that they will implement programmatic support towards at least one of these 4 focus area activities. We are currently supporting our first cohort featuring organizations such as Sima Africa from Uganda, Black Rhino VR from Kenya, Move for Art from Mauritius, and many more. You can read more about our first cohort by following @Ignite Culture on Medium. To learn more about this fund, follow Ignite Culture EA on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, or visit our website.
On every single day, as a storyteller, there's always the next project that you are looking at. The other day when we were having this discussion, we were talking about you coming up with an idea, coming up with a proposal, taking it to the person who you think should be able to fund you, and them understanding the creative process behind what it is you want to bring out.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a good question. So I would say, I mean, there are normally challenges. I mean, they're always there. You know, being commissioned to a story, but you also have your own personal stories that you want to, you know, to pretty much to do. And some of these challenges will be, I mean, pretty much accessing funds, accessing resources, whether it's, you know, money or through people. But what I would say is, for me, like just the whole process of kind of creating, say, a pitch or anything, from my experience working on films with SSP, is I feel nowadays, and especially nowadays, is films and the way we tell stories, there is a need to be more creative, because you see most of these organizations nowadays, there is like I would say of late, and of course since COVID and stuff like that, funding has been, you know, going down and down and down. And I think the only way to replace that kind of a situation, because at the end of the day is the storytellers or the filmmakers who, you know, who are the end of not getting the funds and they don't end up doing their stories. But one of the ways I feel is a way of creating such awareness to people who can give you resources is to be more creative in how you're telling stories. That's the only bit for now I feel can surpass anything, you know, regarding lack of funds, you know, that has been there all around. So I would say creative storytelling, that's for me, that's one of my biggest things that I always look at. And I feel any creative way of telling a story will definitely create awareness to whoever you want to approach to, because at the end of the day is, you know, once you have that emotional beat, then I believe anyone will be touched to whatever you want to say.
Mm-hmm. And I'll pick up from that and come to Tony. Now, Tony, when we were having a discussion earlier, you said there is power of observational documentaries. This is a situation where it is a story that you're telling, but behind it there is an agenda. There is this power in people connecting with stories that we have, bringing out the emotions, bringing out the story in such a way that 10 years later, someone will sit back and say, Tony shot that, it touched me and it made me do A, B, C, D. So in terms of understanding the story, what comes first? Is it the story? Is it the issue? How important is it for creatives to equally be able to know what to go for first?
Yeah, so I believe in the power of observational documentary storytelling, and just to break down what it means so that we are all speaking the same language. For me, observational documentary filmmaking is about, for example, Eric, you work in the culture space. So if I want to know what does that look like, it's Nick going with a camera and following you around, and not just at work. He's with a camera, he's showing you interacting with other people, he's showing your personal life, he's trying to understand what does Eric want in life, what are Eric's challenges, what is Eric trying to achieve, and spending some time, following maybe Eric trying to achieve a specific goal or grappling with a specific relationship. I believe the power of observational documentary and character-driven documentary is that it gives us such an intimate look into people's lived experiences, and it's one of the biggest privileges that I think we have as documentary storytellers, because someone is allowing you to see, this is who I am, and this is what I'm thinking about inside my house or inside, with my very close friends. And I think what that can do is create an opportunity for emotional connection, and people get moved by emotions, because at the end of the day, as humans, wherever you are in the world, we want the same things. We want respect. Yeah, so talking about democracy, talking about gender rights, it's about respect. We all want acknowledgement, we want community. Yeah, and I think that's what observational documentaries can do when they're showing people, as they're struggling to get those things that we all struggle with as humans. And I feel that issues then will come through the person who you decide to follow. Yeah, and I think it's kind of like a chicken and egg situation, because not everyone cares about the same things. And I think it's dangerous to be that person who's always chasing the trend, like nothing. Because I remember when I saw Africa Climate Summit, I saw people who do tenders over there saying they're climate experts, and I was like, what? You don't even know? Do you even know what the climate? Do you know what climate change is? So I think it's important for you as a storyteller, whether you're a producer, whether you're a director, to care about things, read up, inform yourself, find out what you care about. Is it climate? Is it gender rights? Understand what the issues are, because when you understand what the issues are, then you'll be able to identify stories that can bring out those issues. But I would say it's first educating yourself and making sure that you are informed, about the world, and you're informed about how things interact, so that you can be able to identify them in different, unique ways. Yeah.
Thank you, Tony. And now, Eric, as Tony talks about the need to understand the issue that you're talking about, chasing the trends and just being true to what it is you do. Now, as someone who sits at an institution, an organization that looks for creatives, and how do I approach you through my storytelling to be able to open these doors for me to be able to do what it is I need to do? What do you look for from creatives before you say, yes, I commission you to go to A, B, C, D?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
That's a lovely question, and allow me to say two things before I get to that question, because I was just reflecting as Tony was speaking, and based on your question you asked, which one comes first, the impact or the story? So I'll give an example of one project we're supporting. Okay, two projects I've supported. One is currently ongoing with Bomas of Kenya. We are supporting them to digitize traditional music sounds, right? Because, to preserve our culture. So what is the story there? Is it digitizing the traditional music? Sounds good. But when I traveled to Ajir and sat in a makeshift studio listening traditional music from the communities there, that is the story. And we came back and we documented it and said, These guys have gone all around the country and they've done 100+ makeshift studios just to digitize it. So someone will see the end product and play with the sounds, but the story is that traditional music. That guy is playing it so that it's, we digitize it so that it's preserved. So we told it from that angle. So which one comes first? The impact of the story? Both. When we talk about impact storytelling, it's balancing, right? So of course we want to see impact, which brings me now to your question, what do we look for? Donors, funders have priorities, we have objectives. Each project has its goal, there's something we're trying to achieve. So what has happened over time with the design is we've tried to simplify the criteria. I tell you, for example, for Ignite, we got 789 applications and we only chose 36. So we look for uniqueness, we look for what stands out, what hasn't been done before, and if there are samples of that work done. And I link that to this other story I was going to tell. Kibera Fashion Week looks like a video, right? The young gentleman, he didn't have funding, but he said, because Kibera is known for all these things, let me tell a story of something beautiful can come from Kibera. And when he shared that story, the money automatically came. We're like, oh, this is a beautiful story of Kibera, right? And he did it, you see the first fashion week he did, it was crowdfunding and the community supported him. And they were like, whoa. And people traveled all over the world to see that. So anytime, so now he's big, I see him traveling all over. He's busy, he's busy. But so he balances the story, a beautiful story, and the impact. And of course, one of the things that will always happen is people want to see track record of you being able to do it, and people are always impressed by stories that speak to the heart and to the mind, and of course linking that to the priority areas.
The purpose of Kibera Fashion is to be able to create opportunities for the young kids that are growing up right now, because we grew up in an environment whereby we never used to have things like that. And furthermore, we want to educate people outside the world that we also have style.
Lola is an app that gives you a chance to watch videos, listen to audios, and read articles wherever you are for free. Motivational stories, dramas, campus life, technology, lifestyle, adventure, sports, academics, jobs, entertainment, and more. Download Lola now on Play Store. All you need, you got Lola.
Kipindi hewani ni mitindo ya kipwani. Kama ilivyo kipindi hiki kinahusu nyimbo za tarab, chakacha, midwara, midundiko, bila kusahau mapishi. Ambao ndio uti wa mgongo wa pwani ya Afrika Mashariki.
Jamani swahibu zangu mliopo maskani, hatuonani wenzangu, najua mwanitamani.
Hapa KUTV, nahodha mwendesha chombo cha baharini, yani ua linalonukia na kuvutia waridi tamu.
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
The Bible says, when he spoke, then he spoke a parable to them.
that men always ought to pray and not lose heart.
Christ says, I stand in the door and I knock. Whoever hears my voice and opens, I will dwell with him.
Like the moon, I will fade, but like the star, I will rise again. And though I fall, be rest assured that I will rise again.
Go to the hospitals, tell them that God will heal them. Go to the prisons, tell them that they'll be free. Go to the crusades and tell people that Christ is coming, and sooner than the word itself is the second advent is imminent.
Ni nguzo na uso wa jamii. Kupanda shuka akawa tuzo, ukakamavu wake ukatii na kumfanya mwenye bidii. Kwa machozi na makeke akabaini jinsi ya kuweni. Huyu ni mwanamke ngangari kwa jinsi alivyo ng'ari. Mimi ni mwanamke mwake. Usikose kutazama kipindi cha mwanamke mwake nami Caroline Kimweli.
Thank you very much for keeping it here on KUTV Kenya. Remember, we are streaming live on YouTube. You can be following through with the live stream. We've been having conversations around the art scene in the Republic. 2 plays that are coming up, which you should be checking out on the 6th of July. You can enjoy Fuller, that will be staged at the theater in at Eugenia Park, the Art Center at Eugenia Park. Yes, I was trying to get that. The Art Center at Eugenia Park along Thika Road, Kifika Kenyatta Road, the junction, 5 minutes in, you will find them there. Look at the website so that you're aware of what you can look forward to. Huko kuna bird watching, a lot of other activities, fitness activities, book clubs that are coming up as well, and the Art Center, where Fuller will be staged on 6th of July. Check out that. And the tickets are 500 for students, and for advanced tickets, you're getting 1,200. 1,200 bob advanced tickets, and then kwa gate ni 1,500. It's a story of a young girl who is trying to figure out her identity, finds herself in a catch-22 phase between city life and her calling back at home. Very interesting identity crisis that she's going through. You want to check out that play. We did have it before here on the show. Also figure out how that looks like by checking out KUTV Kenya YouTube and type Fuller Art and Culture Monday. Utaangalia hapo, you see the discussions that went down. On August as well, there's a play that you should be excited about because it has all the award-winning people involved, award-winning directors, actresses, and producer. So it's going to be Joyce Musoke, who was here on the show, and it's produced and starring as well is Martin Kigondu, alafu directed by Santa Mukabana. We had both Santa and Joyce on stage. This play will be opening on the 16th of August. 16th of August, which is 2 months from now. Get your tickets early. Alibad tickets at madfun.com. Alafu tuambie how that play went for you. But right about now, we want to shift our focus from art and to look at the culture of the Republic. What's going on with our people? We have been following up with the developments in the world of the finance bill, especially on Biashara Tuesday. And we have had a look at the protests as well from last week, the developments from the government side, the speeches, the terms, the changes, the amendments, the voting, a lot of activity. And this week is not unlike those weeks. In fact, it's going to be a bit more intense with the 7 days of rage and courage planned by the young people across the country. I'm giving you those updates as they are happening here on the dailies. Peer your reactions on social media. But first, let's see what the president has to say about Gen Z. Protesters outside the ACK Diocese of Nyahururu in Laikipia County were yesterday demonstrating in a bid to get President William Ruto's attention with regards to the contentious finance bill of 2024. However, President Ruto affirmed that he has no issue with the youth protesting to demand their rights, further assuring that his government will organize discussions with the youth in order to address their demands.
This was the scene in Nyahururu, Laikipia County, as President William Ruto joined congregants at the Anglican Church ACK. Protesters heckled the president, while security officers continued to maintain their usual duty. With security measures in place, congregants were inspected before being allowed to enter the church. Despite receiving criticism from the younger generation that his government is oppressive, contrary to expectations, President William Ruto praised the youth's step to protest for their rights, stating that he agrees with the youth's action to demonstrate.
Mimi nawapongeza kwa kujitokeza na kushughulika na mambo ya taifa lenu la Kenya. Our young people have stepped forward to engage on the affairs of their country.
In his statement, President William Ruto, however, said he will hold talks with the youths to listen to their demands and find a way to move the nation forward.
They have done a democratic duty to stand and be recognized. And I want to tell you, we are going to have a conversation with you so that we can identify your issues and we can work together as a nation.
However, the agitated youths pressured President William Ruto, insisting that he should address them directly instead of hiding in the church. Unlike his usual routine, President William Ruto left immediately after his church address without addressing the public in the open. On his part, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua agreed with the sentiment that politics should be kept separate from the church after the church's schedule prevented politicians from speaking.
I've seen a lot of toxic talk in churches, a lot of insults, a lot of people talking at each other, and we don't want that anymore.
This comes as the youths planned 7 days of protest starting today, opposing the 2024 finance bill and the killing of activist Rex Kanyike by police officers, among other issues. Caroline Kimwele for KUTV.
All right, the papers this morning are also showing what is happening in terms of those protests, and the Standard, maybe just to get right into it, the revolt continues. It's a picture of young people, and this is actually taken from Sunday, the anti-finance bill protesters demonstrating outside ACK Church, where President William Ruto and his deputy Rigathi Gachagua were attending a church service. And it shows here the young people carrying Kenyan flags and as well calling out the finance bill of 2022. The Daily Nation is calling it a near clash, a close shave. A close shave. President William Ruto yesterday nearly came face to face with hundreds of youth protesting punitive tax proposals in the finance bill of 2024. I just have to say, before I continue with this story, that again, going along with the people who are coming out to say that this should move away from being labeled a Gen Z movement, because that again paints it as it's a movement led by a particular group of people. These are young people across all the ages who, as you can even see from the images, are not just Gen Z. These are youth in general who are coming out to protest against the finance bill of 2024. So on Sunday, they rallied themselves, hundreds of those, a situation which was tense, where hundreds of police officers as well were manning the lands, the gate, security procedures, and the young people were outside there waiting for President William Ruto to show up, as we've seen from that statement, saying that he's happy with the democratic process that's going on, young people coming out to speak their issues, and he hopes that they can have a conversation. The young people in studio here are wondering what conversation is going to happen with President William Ruto about the issues of the young people, which are quite obvious. He should be aware, they say, he should be aware of what the issues are looking like. So that is the priority story on the Standard and the Daily Nation. The headlines as they read is the revolt continues, and the Daily Nation says, listen to youth, church tells state. I have an image of what Taifa Leo actually is saying this morning. So let me just get it here real quick for us. It says, wanasiasa wanyamazishwa kanisani. That's the headline on Taifa Leo. And hapo again an image of vijana wakiandamana kupinga mswada tata wa fedha wa 2024 nje ya kanisa la Kianglikana la Christ the King eneo la Nyahururu, kaunti ya Laikipia, katika hafla ya kutawamazwa kwa Askofu Samson Mburu. Raisi na naibu wake walihudhuria hafla hii. So that's situation. And the Standard says Gen Z parents as well feel about the protests and issue policing the police. That's also the youth trying to fix rogue police officers. Revelers were chanting anti-government slogans in bars, and as well the church is calling out on government to listen to the cries of Kenya. The story is spread out on page 3, 4. I see page 3 says policing the police, Gen Z applying effective methods in fixing the rogue elements. Some of the ways in which the Gen Zs are doing this is, using technology. This is a tech savvy world. Artificial intelligence tools to track officers who were allegedly involved in identifying their families and their residences. Anyone who's captured on camera brutalizing peaceful protesters, the young people are taking those images, reverse searching and finding other information around it, using technology as well. A new wave of protesters, as we can see with the kind of organization that is there. On page 4, hapa kuna young Gen Zs, wengine wanaitwa buddies, for those who are aware. There's an image of a buddy hapo mbele ya gazeti on page 4, and it's an anti-finance bill demonstration as well outside the ACK Church this on Sunday. The title says, Ruto forced to eat humble pie as Gen Z protests escalate countrywide. Young people laid siege Nyahururu Church, and the head of state says he's willing to iron out the outstanding issues amicably. But the young people are saying there's only one issue that needs to be fixed. It's rejecting the finance bill of 2024. They don't need much conversation. Then we'll pick up after that. I want to congratulate you for stepping forward and showing your concerns over national matters. You have done a democratic duty to stand and to be recognized. In a short while, we'll get to see some of the other Kenya Kwanza leaders who've swallowed their words after saying some harsh ones earlier last week against Gen Zs. Page 5, Gen Z parents back demos tell Kenya Kwanza to listen to please. Again, that story continues there. Page 6, street protests expose Ruto's blunder on budget making. Anti-finance protesters from the ACK Church in Nyahururu are actually the ones who are the face of these conversations. They didn't relent from Thursday. They continued all the way to Sunday. This is the second unpopular finance bill in a row for the Kenya Kwanza government, and this is the second finance bill in a row for the Kenya Kwanza government. So you can imagine all the finance bills. Last year we saw the demonstrations, the protests, which eventually led us to that National Dialogue Committee, whose fruits we are yet to see. That discussion is going on even as President William Ruto is asking again for another discussion with the young people about the same issues which were raised from way last year. So to what end? Let's hear what the churches and the Kenya Kwanza government have to say. Now, elsewhere, churches across Kenya, guided by the National Council of Churches of Kenya, NCCK, have joined the Gen Zs in opposing the controversial 2024 finance bill. With increased opposition, church members have protested against the higher taxes and costs of living, advocating for better lives while using religious teachings to support their arguments.
Attention has turned to church podiums nationwide, where a passionate debate is expected about the contentious 2024 finance bill. The National Council of Churches of Kenya, NCCK, has issued a call to action urging churches to preach about the finance bill. In a statement by NCCK Secretary General Canon Chris Kinyanjui, I quote, "We encourage you to use sermon guidelines to reflect biblical teachings to address your congregants' lives." End of quote. NCCK also emphasized the importance of the government listening to its citizens amid significant economic challenges. Meanwhile, at Holy Family Basilica, cheers erupted as youth joined the service, one holding a flag to protest the 2024 finance bill.
Remind you that the enemy is one, the finance bill. Thank you.
Similarly, at Nairobi Chapel, Senior Pastor Nick Korir, quoting 1 Timothy 4:12, praised the agency's efforts, say, I quote, "To this generation we speak to you the words of Paul to Timothy from one generation to the next. Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity." End of quote. Korir also declared their disagreement to the finance bill.
Is valid. It is valid. So as Nairobi Chapel Walk Road, we join you to say no.
Elsewhere, church leaders have encouraged protesters, especially Gen Zs, to oppose the bill responsibly and vigilantly.
As the country goes through what's going on, we want to encourage each one of us, especially those who may be involved, to exercise restraint and be civil, not to use foul language or to destroy property should you join the protests on Tuesday, to be restrained, to represent Christ even in that space. The right to demonstrate and picket is protected in the Constitution, but it must be done with a sense of responsibility.
As the debate continues, NCCK's involvement highlights faith communities advocating for fair governance, as today's services promise reflection and solidarity in the struggle for economic justice. Doris Chalo, KUTV.
The church is raising concerns that this protest could spark an uprising and that the Kenyans' grievances against the bill are valid. If you look at the Daily Nation on page 4, it's a picture of the Catholic Bishop's chairperson, Archbishop Maurice Muhati, who was addressing the faithfuls in Muhoroni, Kisumu, elsewhere. And that happened yesterday. And in this story, one thing that has been highlighted as one of the grievances in the uprising is a crackdown on the young people who are termed as the leadership of these current demonstrations and protests and the mobilization of people against the finance bill of 2024. One of those who are very close to me because he's a former schoolmate of mine and a friend, a very dear friend who has been on this show as well before, is Dr. Austin Omondi, who is also known as Japrado on Twitter or on X, formerly Twitter, who's among the mobilizers for the blood drive. It was happening yesterday at the Sikh Union Club in Parklands, Nairobi, and unfortunately he was kidnapped. It's the only word that you can use given that it was not an official arrest. So he was kidnapped while he was on duty volunteering to get blood donations from Kenyans towards the victims who are losing their lives and blood during the protest of this anti-finance bill 2024. So concerns are being raised and citizens are vanishing. It started last week with a social media influencer, popularly known as Crazy Nairobian, by the name Billy, who went missing for 3 days. Again, a kidnap since it wasn't an official arrest, returned later on. We are yet to get official statements from them on what exactly happened and how the events went, what kind of questioning happened. We know that Dr. Austin Omondi, from his own Twitter account, said that he was taken to make statements at the Parklands police station before he was released later on in the night. Currently, there's one more person who's missing from yesternight, a video circulating online allegedly of him being taken away and kidnapped in a Prado, what looks like a TX there in the streets of Nairobi. He's yet to be found, and the hashtag Free Shadi is still going on alongside the hashtag Reject Finance Bill of 2024. Again, it's a sad situation that we find ourselves in, where young people are disappearing, whether it's for intimidation, threats, a game that's being played. It does not need to involve the lives of young people. If someone needs to make a statement, if someone needs to say something against the young people who are protesting, I do not personally believe that their disappearance is something that will likely quell, but rather it will fuel the spirit of the young people who are uprising against this finance bill. Tax wars. Church breaks its silence, calls for dialogue, and the crackdown as well. But the beauty of this technology that is being used, or the level of technology that you've gotten to, is young people again are leveraging the tools they have around them to track, to find, to allow, to alert, to talk to each other. And those are some of the ways in which you yourself can use in these times. You need to turn on your phone in terms of location tracking. Get someone to have your location, live location. If you feel that you're not safe, get someone else who's close to you to have a live location of you every single hour. There are ways that you can use your phone for people around you to know where you're at. There's Find My iPhone, Find My Android, and many other tools that you can use to ensure that you're safe and people are aware of where you're at. Get your live location to at least 3 people. In terms of artificial intelligence, there are tools for you to get educated. One of the things they're saying is that the young people don't know what is in there in the finance bill, and that Gen Z are unaware of the details of the clauses within the finance bill. Technology is being used to ensure that that is no longer an excuse our leaders are having against the young people. There are videos which are being translated, the finance bill being translated into the several languages which are there in Kenya, local languages, including sign language. And you can check this out. Just want to give a random shout out to Mushiri Mike, who is one of those social media influencers, young people who are doing the job in pushing this conversation. In case haujaelewa finance bill, in case your mother does not understand the finance bill, in case someone else in the village doesn't, get them that video, show them the video in their own language, and then allow them to make their own decision following that. So the young people, commendable job in using technology, but again, the government and allegedly whoever is involved in the government in the disappearance of young people, I want from a personal level to condemn it on the strongest terms possible. It's bringing fear within the nation, but the young people are as fearless as they come. The National Secretary General and Chief Executive Officer at the Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union, Davji Atela, has condemned in the strongest terms possible as well the abduction of one of its members, Dr. Austin Omondi, who I just mentioned there. Meanwhile, the human rights organizations have also called upon the government to stop arresting social media influencers. So let's listen in.
Arrest of social media influencers has been highly condemned by human rights organizations in Kenya. The arrest came as a result of social media mobilization popularly going by hashtag Occupy Parliament, which has of late surfaced, leading to hundreds of Gen Z turning up in cities to reject the finance bill. In a report by National Secretary General and Chief Executive Officer at Kenya Medical Practitioners, Pharmacists and Dentists Union, Davji Himji suspected government agency in a car with registration plate KCU 819 of abducting Dr. Austin Omondi. According to Davji reports, he was being held at DCI headquarters along Kiambu Road. Dr. Austin last evening reported that strange people have been calling him and issuing death threats to him due to his involvement with the Medics for Kenya activities, where young medics have been offering free medical aid and leading in blood donation drive to help injured protesters.
Good afternoon, Kenyans. We are here at the Sikh Union where Dr. Austin was captured outside by 3 men in Maasai Shukas. The team that was collecting blood, as you can see, is just leaving because they are out of manpower and timings. So if you're still in the mood of donating, we are taking the donation center to Pumwani Hospital right now, and there are a few volunteers who we are gathering to go to Pumwani. Meanwhile, we're still vehemently condemning the actions and state machinations and asking them to free Dr. Austin now. We will not rest until the man is free, and we will do whatever it takes. Meanwhile, keep tweeting using the hashtag #FreeJaprado, free Dr. Austin. And if you want to donate from today, if you wanted to come and donate at the Sikh Union, we're donating at Pumwani Hospital. Thank you.
Amnesty-led human rights organizations Kenya has demanded that social media influencers who have been arrested be released. In a statement endorsed by Kenya Medical Association, the Defendants Coalition and others, Amnesty declared that they would fight against these. This came after the arrest of Billy Simani, a social media influencer who was arrested on Friday and detained in an unknown place. However, due to the efforts of LSK, Billy was released.
I'm safe. Thanks everyone. Thanks to LSK for coming in to the rescue. I'm fine, guys. Thank God. Thank God.
The protests are said to continue this week, particularly on Tuesday, where the bill will proceed to the third reading before being signed into law on Thursday.
All right. Again, commendable job from those young people, to be very honest, in standing up for their rights. Shout out to Kazmuel Makoure, who I've seen there giving a statement against the arrests. Kazmuel, Dr. Austin Omondi, and some of the others here I've mentioned are proud former students of the great Alliance High School. So it's commendable work they are doing, unlike some others who will not get into their names here. But technology is being used by the young people in this fight against the finance bill. One thing I didn't mention was ChatGPT. Again, there's something done by Ndemo Kelvin, just to mention him on Twitter, known as Ndemo Kelvin, who built this custom finance GPT. So you can go in there, ask any question about the finance bill, and it will spit that to you on real time. So they are using this, and he's also advising, just to get another piece of advice from him, is wale watu wa Apple wanajua AirTag. So get yourself an AirTag. If you feel like your life is in danger at the moment, get yourself an AirTag, have it added to a friend's iPhone, alafu ishonishe kwa nguo mahali somewhere. So wherever you go, they will always see where you're at. So hata ukidisappear, tunakuona on real time mahali uko, na kuna mtu atajua, very small tiny thing, and then place it on a piece of clothing. Try as much as possible to stay safe as even you stand for your rights. Shout out to the Law Society of Kenya, who we have seen on the front lines in helping these young men get representation, young men and women get representation and be bailed out as quick as possible, for us to also know they are safe. Wamekuwa wakitupatia statements on social media. Social media is being used as a force for good and a force to reckon, and it's time that we keep our eyes on that and what the young people are using it positively. We've been calling it to be used positively. Yeah, tumeacha kudance TikTok. Sasa ndo hii, we are using social media for the good of us all. In the page 9 of the Standard, a very interesting headline that I wanted to say here. Ruto builds name abroad, but trouble begins cooking at home. President has been outside the country for 3 months. Back to back, he has visited dozens of cities across the world, blowing gobs of badly needed shillings back at home. And he says that he wants to exit the stage with Kenyans being taxed at the highest they've ever been, which is 25%. 25% is the number that President William Ruto is gunning down for. We are currently at 14% with the finance bill protest. So that is his promise, even as he gains a name abroad, but at home, trouble is cooking. Gen Z are using the church pulpits to send anti-finance bill messages, and the youth across the country took to the pulpit on Sunday, as we've seen in some of those stories we've shown you. Read for yourself on page 8 of the Standard. Page 6, it says, street protests expose Ruto's blunder on budget making. Our leadership will be well advised to avoid dismissing these protest actions as a one-off. The real concern is we have made what we should do, or the real concern is we have made what should be a smooth budget process a scene of chaos. We're expecting as of 1st July to get into the next financial year, this has become very, very, very chaotic given the protests that are there on the streets. The youth are peaceful, even with the chants, we are peaceful, but the police don't seem to be believing that, lobbing tear gas canisters and some of that water which is being lodged at the protesters all day long. Expected to happen as well tomorrow. So for preparation for your week, let me just read you the schedule so that you're aware. Yeah, I'm just giving my work here is to get you informed and then for you to make your own decisions. So I have the schedule for 7 days, and I have to say this is from social media. So I'm reading from social media. 7 days of rage for We Have Courage from the 21st to the 27th of June 2024. It reads that despite their collective cry rejecting finance bill, so I'm going to read it in first person, but I am reporting. Despite our collective cry rejecting the finance bill of 2024, Parliament gave Zakayo the right to do wrong to 54 million Kenyans. We reject the finance bill in its entirety, and despite our peaceful protests, police have responded with bullets, killing 2 of our own, maiming many others, and 1 person is in critical condition. We refuse to be silenced, so we are marching on. That's the statement before the action points. At that point, I just remembered we also did lose 2 young men in the streets. That was Rex and 1 David. So 1 Evans. Yes, Evans and Rex. So rest in peace to the young people. And social media has again been used as a tool of good. They have raised 2 million, young people have raised 2 million Kenyan shillings in a span of 24 hours to ensure that they're receiving the necessary send-off that's required. Those in hospital are being taken care of through this kind of rallying in social media. Action points. 21st of June, which was last week on Friday, to look at those who were, of course, hospitalized, injured, to give them water, to check on them. On Saturday, at midnight, all bars and clubs where Gen Zs frequent stopped the music to listen to a national crescendo of Ruto must go and reject the finance bill. And on Sunday, deplatforming of politicians happened across all the churches where Gen Zs were attending, not allowing politicians who voted yes to speak in the churches. On Monday, this is what is happening. Make a courtesy call on MPs who voted yes at the constituency office. Tell them, endelea hivyo hivyo. Boycott the businesses of these traders. Ostracize them for betraying 54 million Kenyans. Start collecting signatures to recall them. Shout out to one, again, former classmate of mine by the name of Lewis Ngunyi, who in Laikipe is also doing what he can in his best ways to protect the young people who are protesting against the finance bill over there. So a shout out to him for standing with the people. Tuesday, 25th June, hashtag Occupy Parliament and total shutdown Kenya. A national strike. Gen Z are granting all hardworking Kenyans a day of parents. Keep your children at home in solidarity. Wednesday, 26th June, Justice for Rex. Visit IPOA and the IG of police demanding justice for Rex. Rex is the young man who lost his life after being shot last week on Thursday in the streets. And Thursday, 27th, block all roads leading to Nairobi and occupy State House to witness Ruto sign our lives into slavery. Total shutdown, Kenya. That's the schedule as I have read it from social media. My work is to give you information to prepare for yourself in terms of traffic and in terms of planning your day for work so that you're not caught off guard. The rest of it is up to you to decide. Thank you very much for tuning in to Art and Culture Monday. This is a show as a part of the package that you get from KUTV Rise Today. On Monday, Art and Culture with Ojwang Mariam, who I was standing in for. On Tuesday, we get into serious business on Biashara Tuesday, having a look at the economy of the nation, the economy of individual, and the business of everyone who is affecting our income and our income opportunities. So continue following the rest of KUTV's broadcasting at KUTV Kenya, and then you will let us know of what more we can do and what else it is that you need to be watching here on the show. My personal handles are at Richard_OKENYE. Tag me there. Hashtag reject finance bill. Tag me as well. I'll see what you guys are saying, and we'll continue the conversation up until tomorrow when I'm back here at 7 a.m. to give you the latest of the updates and what you can expect in the coming week. So I'm glad that I was able to start your week and that I can still continue it tomorrow with you. Until then, from my producer and director Ryan Ngure and the whole team here from the transmission desk, the graphics department, music, video mixing, the cameras, and all the support that we have here, it takes a whole village to bring you just one show. So we're grateful that you're able to tune in. See you tomorrow.